Welcome to the Budweiser Major League Baseball pregame show on Fox. Budweiser, the great American lager. Going into last night, Detroit held a 2-game lead over the Twins in the AL Central, but the Tigers, they ran into this guy, Jake Peavy of the White Sox. And Peavy, he threw 8 shutout innings, allowing just 2 hits. Peavy struck out 5, and the White Sox beat the Tigers 8-0. So that meant Minnesota would gain a game if they could beat the Royals, and this helped right away. Delmon Young, first career grand slam at the right time. The Twins had a 5-0 lead in the bottom of the first, and the Twins would hold on to win 10-7. So trailing the Tigers by only 1 game with 2 to play, Joe Mauer and the Twins face the Royals Cy Young candidate Zach Greinke, and he's a good one. His ERA of 2.06 is the lowest in Major League Baseball. And welcome to Fox Saturday Baseball, presented by Budweiser. Chris Myers here, and thanks for being with us from the sold-out Metrodome in Minneapolis. They expect 50,000 here, and the Twins trying to pull off a comeback that even Brett Favre would be proud of. They were 3 back with 4 to play. Things are tightening in the AL Central. One team will go, the other will stay home. Now the Twins want to win and keep the pressure on the AL Central division-leading Detroit Tigers. And speaking of pressure, tonight Detroit will send 25-year-old rookie Alfredo Figueroa to the mound. Figueroa making only his 3rd career start. That's Figueroa, his 3rd career start against Freddie Garcia and the White Sox. So Alfredo Figueroa, the rookie, feeling the heat for Detroit. So the AL Central, they're trying to decide that. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, the Dodgers are wondering if champagne has an expiration date. They haven't been able to put a cork in it. If the Dodgers do win, they play the Rockies today and tomorrow, they clinch the National League's best record and the National League West, the division. Both the Rockies and Dodgers are in the postseason, but they can't play each other in the opening round. Last night, Troy Tulowitzki and the Rockies kept the heat on the Dodgers. Tulowitzki hit this 2-run homer, his 32nd of the year, gave the Rockies the lead, and then Houston Street came on and shut down Manny Ramirez and the Dodgers. So the Rockies are just 1 game back. LA's lost 5 in a row. Now, who will the Rockies or the Dodgers face in the postseason? Cardinals, first team in the majors to clinch their division, winning the Central for the 6th time this decade. St. Louis returns to the postseason for the first time since winning the World Series in 2006. So the defending champion Phillies, National League East champs for the 3rd straight season. Those fighting Phils doing it like they always have with offense. Philadelphia leads the National League in both runs scored and in home runs. So we'll wait and see who the Phillies and the Cardinals wind up playing. In the American League, either the Twins or the Tigers will have the challenge of facing the team with the best record in baseball, the Yankees. The Bronx Bombers winning their first AL East title since 2006. They earn home field advantage throughout the entire postseason. The only divisional matchup that's actually set is the wild card Red Sox against the AL West champion Los Angeles Angels, as the Red Sox make their 6th postseason appearance in 7 seasons. The Angels did win the series against the Red Sox 5-4. So as the division series are wrapped up and we set the postseason picture, this reminder, October 16th, the American League Championship Series, you'll see it exclusively on Fox, whether it's the Yankees, the Red Sox, the Angels, or the Tigers or Twins, and then, of course, the World Series. You'll see it this October on Fox. You'll either see, most of you, the Twins. Some will see games from Philadelphia or Atlanta. Final season at the Metrodome for the Twins. Saturday Baseball on Fox.
crowd, they're about to say goodbye for regular season baseball. They want more postseason, though. Just 22 of those, the Royals and the Twins. And we're certainly glad to bring it to you on an electric Saturday afternoon. Hi there, folks. Alongside Bert Blyveld, a man who should be in baseball's Hall of Fame. My name is Darren Sutton. And Bert, this crowd is electric because this team here has really turned fortunes around. A couple of weeks ago, the Twins were as many as 7 games back.
But Darren, you know what? They've really turned it around. 14 wins over the last 18 ball games, and they have gotten right back into the race. It's going to be an exciting time here in Minnesota this afternoon.
It's electric. You were a part of that team in '87 that won a World Series title. There's nothing better. I know they're excited to go outdoors. Nothing better than indoor baseball in the postseason.
Yeah, 28 years of very good baseball, but they're going to have the work cut out for them here this afternoon because 6 days ago, Zach Greinke beat the Minnesota Twins 4-1. This is a must-win for the Twins.
Zach Greinke, as he said, is on the mound trying to lock up the Cy Young Award. Joe Mauer says to an entire state and a roster, hop on my back. Let's go to the postseason. Certainly all these fans in this roster, they believe. Zach Greinke not pitching for his state, pitching for himself, trying to lock up the AL Cy Young. Alex Gordon, they hope to have him healthy 1 through 9 for the Kansas City Royals. Welcome back to Fox Saturday Baseball, presented by Budweiser. It, of course, is the great American lager. We raise our glass to this weekend of baseball. We raise our glass to the Midwest.
Well, that lineup will be facing Nick Blackburn. Blackburn making his 33rd start. And when Blackburn's on, he has a good sinking fastball. He relies on a big, slow curveball, a slider, and a changeup.
Breaking ball, fly ball, right field, Kubel. Over, under, and out. Jason Kubel puts that one away. The numbers. Here is our sprint pitcher profile for Nick Blackburn, and certainly we'll see the numbers, and Bert will continue on with the profile.
That's exactly where he ended up last year, 11-11 in 33 starts. So he's trying to better himself by one ball game this year and also go over 200 innings in just his second full season with the Minnesota Twins. He's pitching on 3 days rest. This is the first time at the major league level he's been asked to do that. He's coming off a very good start in his last start against the Tigers. Even though it was a no decision, he has allowed only 3 earned runs over his last 3 starts and winning 2 of those 3.
He pitches on 3 days rest, as Bert Blyleven said, but he does so with a huge contingency of 10th men behind him in this crowd. Mitch Mayer, 249, 3 homers, 31 batted in with an on base of 339. What does that mean for his body pitching on 3 days?
Well, it's the perfect scenario for Nick Blackburn, because he has said sometimes I have to wait too long between starts when he's pitching on a 5-man rotation. He said, you know, I've never done this before at the major league level. I've done it at the minor league level, but I feel that I'm going to be more under control. He's very excited about pitching this ball game. It's kind of like 163 last year when he pitched for the Twins in Chicago. Even though he lost 1-0, he pitched an outstanding ball game.
Punto, Kadire, there are 2 away here in Minnesota. When he is right, talking about Blackburn, and you mentioned this, he is on the ground, so defenders on the infield have to be on their toes.
Well, it's a very good defensive ball club behind him. Only 76 errors on the year. These Minnesota Twins rely on good defense. Blackburn has averaged less than 2 walks per 9 innings, but less than about 4 strikeouts per 9. So he makes the opponent put the ball in play.
This man, what a season he is having. Billy Butler takes strike 1, the first baseman. 21 homers, 93 RBIs, and a number in baseball we overlook too much. He has gone over 50 doubles, 51 doubles this season.
Yeah, he's 3 doubles short of the Kansas City record held by Hal McRae when he had 54 back in 1977. But he's a lot like Hal McRae, Darren. I mean, he's got power, but he uses the whole field. A lot of his hits are going to right field.
Fastball just missed the outside corner 2 pitches ago. Blackburn got 96. Does he have that in that right arm?
Yeah, he's
a little hot there on the gun.
A little hot, I believe, on the gun. He'll throw 92, maybe 93. Pretty good pitch right there. You want to find out early what that home plate umpire, and that's Mark Wagner, will give you, or what he will not give you.
Rick Reed is the crew chief. Jeff Kellogg is at second. Tim Timmons at third. The men in black, Major League Baseball umpires. The most underappreciated job on the field, and many will tell you the toughest job on the field. But they live for games like this, umpiring. The Oklahoma native on 2-2 late on the fastball. Caught him looking for something off speed there.
Well, again, in yesterday's ball game, they really tried to stay outer half of the plate to Butler. If they come in, you want to come in off the plate because of the power that he could generate. 21 home runs on the year.
Young man out of Jacksonville, Florida, Butler. Wolfson High School. Kansas City's #1 pick in 04. High fastball, fly ball into the gap in right center field. Denard Span with just enough room. So far, so good. And these folks, boy, they're ready to rock here in Minnesota. a speedy and versatile span at the top. Joe Mauer, MVP candidate, no doubt about it. Kadire has stepped in first in the absence of Morneau, and Colbert and Punto round things out 1 through 9. For the Minnesota Twins, Zach Greinke, what else is there to say? 32 starts this year, 16 victories. Very little support. It should be more like 21 or 22 victories. Electric stuff as the fastball nails the outside corner. As you can see, hard to describe, an ERA of just a tick over 2. League average is over 4. That's how good this young man has been.
He has been outstanding. Very good walk to strikeout ratio. 49 walks for Greinke. He's averaging 2 walks and over 9 strikeouts per 9 innings.
The Sprint pitcher profile, this is all you, Bert.
Well, you know, when you look at where he sits, I mean, he's got a chance to win a Cy Young Award. Brett Saberhagen won 2 back in 85 and 89. David Cohn back in 1994. And that's what the Royals are hoping. One more good start will kind of maybe put the icing on the cake.
Hit on the hands, fly ball racing in to make the play is Mitch Meyer.
And Greinke again, I mean, he started the season 6-0 with an ERA of 0.40. Then he kind of went through the summer. Well, his last 7 starts, he's 5-0 with an ERA of 0.73. So what you want to do if you're the opponent, you want to try to get him early. You don't let him get into a good groove. And you can see the difference in the ERA. He gets better as the game goes on. You have to try to get him early.
Orlando Cabrera, he's been getting everybody early, but not with that breaking ball. The hitting streak will hold for now. 13-game hitting streak, 13-game run scored streak. He is retired. You know, we talk about that sound off the bat, that good crack of the bat. You didn't like it when you were a pitcher. You rarely hear that sound off the bat against Zach Greinke. He is always off the sweet spot.
Yeah, Darren, he does a great job at changing up, and that's one thing that they really, Bob McClure, the pitching coach, one thing they really worked on in spring training. He threw probably about 60% changeups in his spring training outing, so just so he could master that. And then he has a great curveball, hard slider, and then the overpowering fastball.
This is the matchup of the afternoon. Fastball over the outside, just 89 miles an hour to Joe Mauer. Cy Young candidate left, MVP candidate right. Some say the best player in baseball on the right. Others would tell you Albert Pujols. I'll debate either side.
I don't think you can go wrong by picking any 2 of those guys.
Inside corner with a fastball. He's already changing speeds on his fastball.
Well, he does a great job of that. Again, this young man right here, really, I mean, he's just beginning to become the pitcher that the Royals thought he was going to be when he first came up 6 seasons ago.
Hard slider down and in. Did he go around? When you're on the verge of winning your 3rd batting title, you have to take a full swing all the way through the zone to go around there. 1-2 the count.
Well, a 16-point lead over Ichiro Suzuki is close to his opponent to win his 3rd batting title as Joe Mauer.
And he does it as a catcher. The 3rd catcher to do so in the history of this game as that fastball runs in.
Yeah, Mauer won his first title back in 2006 when he hit .347. Last year, hitting .328, his second one. And you see where he ranks right now, right on top. And there's Ichiro right there, 16 points behind.
The 2-2. Spikes a slider in there. The patient Mauer has this crowd bouncing around in their seats. He leads the league in batting average. He leads the league in on-base percentage. As you can see, Kubel waiting his chance. And he leads the league in slugging percentage. The new age Triple Crown if you really follow baseball.
Well, he's had a fantastic year. Remember, he missed the whole month of April. His season did not start until May 1st.
Outside, and he just earned a walk. Walk us through this, if you don't mind, the matchup.
Yeah, let's do a little pitch-by-pitch between Greinke and Joe Mauer. Now, he took a little off that fastball. You mentioned 89 miles an hour. Now they're trying to go inside. He gets ahead in the count. And then that slider, that struck him out last week in Kansas City. Missed with a fastball inside. Trying to establish inside again, and then ended up walking him away.
So now Jason Kubel, very quietly a big part of this offense. 25 home runs, 96 runs batted in. And right away, I just received word we want to Send a shout out to all the members of the Detroit Tigers that are watching this game inside of their clubhouse.
They better be.
They are watching in high definition with our voices in this game blaring right now. That one is outside. 2-0 the count. I thought he backed off a little bit on that pitch.
Well, again, that's Zach Greinke. He does a good job of adding and subtracting, and he can go east to west and also north to south in that strike zone.
Kubel had a big blast last night in the fourth inning, as that one is high and away with the fastball, missing a lot out of the zone in the fourth inning. Kubel got Victor Marte, and the lead at that point was 8-0. Now it's got a lot tighter than that in the end. Kind of hearts going patter pat. The Twins held on to win it and keep the pressure on those Detroit Tigers.
Well, Kubel did a lot of DHing throughout the season, and then with Justin Morneau out the rest of the year, Michael Kadire, who played right field, now playing at first, so that opened up an outfield position. There's Justin Morneau right there. He has a stress fracture, so he will not be playing anymore. Even if the Twins got the postseason, he is not going to be able to participate. But Kubel having a career year, the 25 home runs.
Off the end of the bat, an easy chance. So Zach Greinke and Nick Blackburn both tossed zeros up on the scoreboard. Sponsored by Sprint, the Now Network, by Taco Bell, think outside the bun, and by 1&A Men's, the official multivitamin of MLB, specifically formulated for men. The final series, regular season now, nearly 2,300 games here in the Metrodome. Opened in 1982, just 22 postseason games. They want more of those.
Well, they're hoping to finish the magic here at the Metrodome by getting in the postseason.
It was inflated in October of 1981 and completed in April of 1982. And you know what it's like. You were part of some of the noise in here in 87.
Well, back in 82, there was no air conditioning in this place. So the balls were just jumping all over the place. And the turf that they had there at this time was like playing on a playground. The ball would just bounce over the outfielder's head. It was quite a place back in 1982. Then they added some air conditioning, the fans blowing out only when the offense for the Twins hit and blow in when the opponents hit. That's what was said here, but a lot of good memories in 28 years here for the Minnesota Twins.
Fastball high, 1-2 the count to Mike Jacobs. 18 home runs, 60 RBIs. Well, they're all around. Look at all your old teammates and buddies.
Yeah, Randy Bush right there. You see Tom Verdansky, Kent Herbeck, Frank Viola. They're all out there partying while I have to sit here and work with you.
As it should be. That's your punishment. As it should be. You can party later with them.
There's Juan Berenguer. We just saw him in Detroit when the 84 ball club in Detroit was celebrating their World Series championship.
Someone needs to go on some coffee if they could. It's been a big party weekend. Don't blame him. Boy, he gets a lot of life on that pitch. Diving down and away.
Well, Jacobs in his first season with the Royals, he came over from the Florida Marlins, where last year he hit 32 home runs. He drove in 93 runs. He hasn't been quite able to do that yet here for Kansas City.
Good hard breaking ball. Trying to stick with it is Kadire. The flip, the cover. And in time for the out. Good pitch. And an even better play by Kadire. Just solid defensively.
Yeah, Kadire signed as an infielder by the Twins, and then they tried him in so many different positions. They want his bat in the lineup now with Justin out. He has not made an error since he's taken over for Justin Moe at first base. Morneau, and nice little flip right there, staying with it. And one thing Ron Gardenhire talks about, and I think Trey Hillman probably the same, on a play like that, don't panic. Just go get the ball and make the play.
Mr. Kadire, we just saw him a moment ago. Ken Herbeck would be awfully proud of that play. Ron Gardenhire certainly enjoying it. Alberto Callaspo has been a pleasant surprise for the Kansas City Royals. Not just with the batting average hovering around 300, but a little bit more pop this year than I think they ever expected.
Yeah, they got him a couple years ago from the Arizona Diamondbacks, and you know, he's getting a chance to play here. A switch hitter, hitting a lot better from the right side of the plate, hitting 363, but 269 as a left-handed hitter. 8 of his 11 home runs coming from this side of the plate.
Young man out of Venezuela. And when he was acquired, he knew he'd get a chance to play every single day. In and out of the catcher's mitt there. And so the count 1-2. Trey Hillman, the skipper of these Kansas City Royals. Bob McClure sitting next to him.
That's Trey Hillman right there, and Max sitting over on his left, a former teammate of mine with the Angels. You know, and that's one thing that they have now with Hillman coming back and McClure in his 4th season. They have some stability in that Kansas City, you know, front office, and that's going to help this young ball club, I think, in the years to come.
Boy, is this a strike?
Well, we're seeing right now Mark Wegman behind the plate, not giving much, not doing a very good job going east to west.
You love it when Callaspo's in the air. He's a slap it and go guy, so instead he is retired. Now that was a fastball there thrown by Blackburn, but a long string of great changeups started in this ballpark. Frank Viola.
Yeah, Frankie, a teammate of mine, of course, back in 1987 when we won the World Series. He won the Cy Young in 1988. Had some great moments here. That changeup was taught from Viola to Brad Radke to Johan Santana, and they were kind of hoping that kind of went a little bit further with Francisco Liriano, but he's had a lot of elbow problems. Viola now makes his home down in Orlando, Florida.
5 in a row to start the ball game, sat down by Blackburn. Starts him off with a curveball, then a sinking fastball. 1, 2, 3. Go the Kansas City Royals. Zach Greinke about to go back to work. Oh, Frankie D, what a change. flavor and refreshment. Budweiser, the great American lager. I heard you over there. You couldn't sneak that
those
by
not
me.
beautiful horses or what? Those Clydesdales.
That's a beautiful sight, isn't it? To the brim, these folks have come into this ballpark. I know you love seeing it.
It brings back a lot of memories when this place is packed like that. They used to have a tarp, and they still do, but they raised the tarp out in right center to accommodate so many fans, not only today but also tomorrow.
Yeah, up top there, that's where they opened it up, and as he was saying, a lot of the greats are remembered up there in right field that have played in this ballpark, yourself included, but well, you guys are gone now.
Yeah, they rolled us away. Michael Dyer having an outstanding year, 30 home runs on the year, 91 RBIs, and so far this year the Twins, for the first time in franchise history, have 4 players that have 90 or more RBIs in a season.
Fastball over the inside. By the way, those numbers you just saw on Kadire, that's since they lost Morneau. You lose Morneau, you're 70 and 72, 5.5 back. It looks bleak, doesn't it? How about 14 and 4 since? And Kadire, a big part of it, as he buries that fastball in. Outstanding pitch there.
Again, Greinke, I mean, he's fun to watch because he does such a great job of working both sides of the plate. He has that two-seam fastball that you see the movement right there, and you're tying up a guy that's swinging a hot bat.
Goes away with the slider. Good piece of hitting just to put it in play very firmly, but Kadire is erased. So he saw in that at bat a slow curveball to start, fastballs on both sides of the plate, and a slider.
Well, this is why this guy, a young kid right here, might win a Cy Young. And in my opinion, he's won it already, whether he wins or loses here today, because of what he's been able to do throughout the season with the Kansas City Royals. 6 times he has started a ball game and given up 1 or no runs and has a no decision.
I mean, that's silly.
Yeah, it doesn't have a win. That's unbelievable. That's the type of year that Zach Greinke has had.
Delman Young has had an up and down emotional week, including a grand slam last night as that fastball's over the outside corner. Was hit by a pitch, or an retaliatory pitch, by Jeremy Bonderman a couple of days ago. He was frustrated with, well, his own club.
No, just one guy, Jose Majaras.
All right, I let you say it. Up and away, 96 miles an hour.
Right, he does a great job of changing speeds, too. Only 2 guys that Zach Greinke will face against the Twins have hit home runs off of him, one being Michael Kadire that is lined out to second, and then Delman Young.
Slow curveball. You notice the breaking balls. He has the hard slider. We've seen that. That's the one he threw to Kadire. This is the slow curveball.
Yeah, I mean, that's why I like the curveball over the slider, because it becomes a changeup.
And you would know, one of the best all time, my friend.
You can throw it hard, you can throw it soft. You try throwing a slider soft, maybe goes a long way.
He threw him a fastball at 98 again, like Kadire. Not a bad approach, but the defense ready. That's a big part of it for Greinke. The defense will be ready. When you kill that strike zone, you're going to get more plays made behind you.
Yeah, both these pitchers here today, again, Greinke averaging 2 walks per 9 innings, Nick Blackburn about 1.8. So these guys that play behind these guys that are pitching here today, they know that they have to be ready every pitch. You don't go 3-1 too often with these guys on the mound.
So Michael Kadire a moment ago chatting with Joe Nathan. Bet your boots he's talking about this man on the mound and Zach Greinke. Jose Morales 1-0 the count. Justin Morneau in that conversation as well. Backed off on that fastball, misses away. This is what he has done. You're not supposed to finish a season like this.
But the thing again, as I mentioned, he started the season this way. He started the season 6-0 in his first 6 starts, a 0.41 ERA, and now over the last 4 starts, you just saw the numbers right there. This guy's having an incredible year.
His ERA has gone down on each of those starts. 2.06. American League average with regard to earned run average is 4.31. His 2.06. That's your average pitcher that trots out there.
He's been something special to the Royals this season.
The 2-1. Fastball blazes over the outside. 2-2 the count. He's only 25 years old. Kansas City's #1 pick in 2002, and you can see historically where he stands. This, of course, is since the designated hitter became part of the scene. Gets the outside corner and run up there. Jose Morales will return to Minneapolis after a word from your local Fox station. August. 27-year-old right-hander Nick Blackburn goes to work and fires a sinking fastball over the outside corner. Catcher Miguel Olivo, big power this year from behind home plate. 23 home runs.
Yeah, 19 home runs as a catcher, 4 as a designated hitter. And he's 1 home run as a catcher, who's catching here today behind Mike McFarland, who has the all-time Royals record with 20 home runs as a catcher in one season. This guy does have a lot of power.
Big power, big excitement today. Miguel telling me before the game, I hope we can show the nation, show the world who Zach Greinke is. He shows himself back to the dugout after getting ready to go to work again to catch Zach Greinke. Down, down, soft, soft, then up hard.
And you see where Mauer wanted that ball, and boy, did he put it exactly where Joe had the glove. So they tried to go up the ladder right there. When Blackburn got ahead in the count, he picks up his first strikeout.
Well, the future's still bright for this young man, digging into the box as he hopes to get healthy over the winter. Missed a couple of months this summer. Hip problems, and now you start talking about cartilage tears and hips when you're a young athlete like that. It's going to take you at least a year to get back.
Oh, it really does. You know, I mean, you have to appreciate Gordon at least trying to go out there and at least making something of the season. But he had that labrum tear in his right hip, and that was back in April. And then, you know, he was activated in August, sent back down to the minor leagues just to get some more at-bats. Good movement right there on that two-seam fastball. And then got called back up in September to hopefully finish the season strong for the Royals. But, you know, Darren, I don't know if you went through surgeries at all when you were a pitcher, but, you know, it takes time. The Twins are seeing that from Francisco Liriano. And they're going to see it probably from Justin Morneau as far as, you know, having a stress fracture those things don't just go away.
No.
It takes a long time to get those things healed up. And Joe Creedy can attest to that. Joe Creedy no longer with the Twins. He had his third back operation about 2 weeks ago.
2-2 the count. Trying to get that inside corner. It's finally open for business. I'll tell you, both pitchers have been pounding at that side of the plate. Mark Wegner finally pumps him out.
Remember in the first inning I said, you know, you keep hitting your spots and you'll find out if that umpire will open it up. That had a little bit more of the plate, but Blackburn picks up his second straight strikeout.
Don't forget to catch all the action of the 2009 MLB postseason on Fox, October 7th with the Division Series. It all rolls your way.
You see it over the game of baseball. Guys that have good control, the Greg Maddoxes, the Tom Glavines, that 17-inch plate, if you can continue to hit your spots, that 17-inch plate becomes a 23-inch plate. That's what pitching's all about.
Off the mound he goes, fielding, tagging, and in time for the out. Well, so far through 3 innings, the Kansas City Royals have done nothing against Nick Blackburn. This ballpark on its time for a young man doing a nice job. And a broken bat, Zach Greinke. There's that ugly sound again. They hate it. Matt Tolbert, he grounds out. Let's get back out into the crowd because it's going to be rocking all weekend long here. Time now for the Bank of America fan camp. Want to show the world it's not like, it's love, and they love it here. Get MLB banking only from Bank of America. This is the place to be.
You see all those young kids right there. A lot of them that maybe have not gone to another ballpark other than Major League Baseball here. They haven't seen baseball played outside on a professional level. So, you know, that Target Field that the Twins are going to move into next year will be very exciting for a lot of these. You know, if you're 28 years old and under and you've never seen professional baseball other than here at the Dome, you get to have outdoor baseball next year.
So exciting. Gorgeous summers here in the Midwest. I spent about a half-decade in Milwaukee remembering how beautiful the summer times are.
Yeah, just bring a heavy jacket in April and September.
You know, the average temperature in Minneapolis in April is 46 degrees. For some watching maybe out on the West Coast, that sounds just fine right now. That'll cool you down. 2-1 the count to Nick Punto. All 5'9" of it. the engine that could. Well, he can and he has in the month of September and into October.
Well, I mentioned the Twins have won 14 out of their last 18 ball games. It just hasn't been Kadire or Mauer or Kubel. It's been the lower part of the lineup, the Toberts and the Puntos. And right there, Zach Greinke gets him with the pitch and picks up his second strikeout.
See this again.
Well, Greinke will not catch Verlander to lead the American League. A good fastball, about knee high. But he will come in second base, replaced in the American League. That was his 239th major league strikeout this season.
The most strikeouts in Royals history. He's not far away. 244. Dennis Leonard got there in 1977. It's a name from your era. That's strike one to Denard Span.
Talk about a guy that had a really nasty sinker. It was Dennis Leonard. They've had some great pitchers come through the Royals organization, from Paul Splittorff to, Brett Saberhagen to David Cohn.
Span flied out to center field back in the first inning. Breaking ball, line to right. But for a moment, a little bit of misgivings there by Tien, but he puts it away. Both these pitchers putting on a show. From Bank of America by Zantac. Heartburn? Attack it. Zantac. And by Chevy. Rolling on, both these pitchers attacking the strike zone. They all wish he was here. They miss him.
Yep. Kirby Puckett.
You miss him.
He can play some baseball, I'll tell you that. But not only, just his personality. My goodness. Came to the ballpark every day wanting to win, with a big smile on his face.
Breaking ball in strike one. Guys like Blackburn and Span and Mauer, they look to grab that torch and bring Kirby's team, his old club, back into October baseball. We certainly told you they're watching in the Detroit clubhouse. We received word several times. Jim Leland, after last night's loss to Jake Peavy and the White Sox, said, and I quote, "You're not going to get any help. Don't expect it. If you want to win the division, you've got to win 2 games." The 0-2 got the outside corner. He has been rolling, and certainly a chance to talk with his skipper Ron Gardenhire about how effective Nick Blackburn has been. We did so just a moment ago.
Yeah, he's throwing the ball well. I think he has to be effective. Greinke looked like he's throwing the ball well, so yeah, I don't know how many runs are going to be scored, but Nicky looks good right now.
Yeah, Gardy with Greinke on the mound. You know, as far as your offense is trying to make good, solid contact, hope they fall in.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? You can see what he does. He moves the ball in and out. He locates as well as anybody. Changes speed. So, yeah, you got to try to get a good pitch if that's possible and put a whack on it.
Thank you, Gardy. Make sure that boat's out of the lake.
All right, guys. Thanks.
All right.
You know, one thing Ron Gardenhire told his players, and you said what Jim Leland said, about, hey, guys, you got to go do it yourself. Gardy told his players, hey, guys, you know what? You don't get too many chances to get into the situation you're in right now. Go out and have fun. Enjoy this because it doesn't happen too often.
By the way, it's raining here, and it is the land of 10,000 lakes. There's no doubt about that. He had called his wife, Ron Gardenhire, his lovely wife, Carol, and said, even though our boat's in a lift, you got to tie it down because the water is rising, and even though it's in a lift, I'm afraid it might float away at some point today.
Might end up in his living room.
That's exactly what he said. His wife Carol said, really? He said, really, please. I don't want to go looking for it.
I'm not kidding.
They have come to expect this of late from Blackburn, and what he has done with all those numbers in a huge outing against Detroit, obviously. He's 2-0 with a 1.33. One walk in 20 and a third innings. One walk.
Yeah, again, he's third in the American League in fewest walks per 9 innings. And one thing the Twins really try to instill in their pitchers is to throw strikes. Trust your defense. Trust your stuff. Right now, Blackburn has thrown 43 pitches. He's thrown 32 strikes.
Got him reaching for a pitch that dives down and away. Does he throw a cut fastball?
He throws a little slider. That's
okay.
A little slider. Then he'll mix in the slower curveball. That's the little slider right there. It looks like a cut fastball, just the location, just trying to work down and away. Then he'll throw that two-seamer into right-handers. Very good changeup. And he's retired 11 straight Royals.
The 1-2 to Butler. He's not interested in that. He's going too good to chase up.
Well, you see right there, that pitch right there maybe opens up the outer half of the plate. You have to pitch this guy inside. You have to make him kind of do this a little bit. You see the flinch because Butler is probably looking away to drive it the other way.
He gets him reaching on that little slider, as you called it. And he did try to open up the outside. No swing at all on that one.
You know, when I was young, I got a chance to talk to Don Drysdale about repeating inside. And you can see Butler, I mean, he's looking away. So that prior pitch, you go inside, go back in there again. Pitching coach Rick Anderson for the Minnesota Twins. Again, this is a tough out. This young man can flat out hit.
Well, that swing there, that bail swing, he doesn't take many of those. Usually pitches away, he's driving them to right.
Right. But that was
setting it up.
Pretty good nasty pitch down and away. Butler only 23 years old, already in his third season with the Royals.
Bouncing ball. These Twins fans are getting just what they hoped for. An outstanding outing out of Robert Nicholas Blackburn, doing so on 3 days rest for the first time ever.
Maybe.
Fastball over the outside corner, strike one to Orlando Cabrera.
Well, about the only two things that these pitchers have in common, Darren, is that they have excellent control. They attack the strike zone. They keep that pitch count to where they can get into the 7th or 8th inning. That's something that baseball really needs to, every pitching coach has to tell these guys, attack the strike zone, trust your stuff. Blackburn's done it so far in 4 shutout innings. Zach Greinke starting his 4th inning.
Fastball is high, missing up and out of the zone. 2-1 the count. 7 of 11 first pitch strikes for Greinke. Kevin Seitzer is the hitting coach for the Royals. He said before the game, we're not the Royals, we're the Yankees. When Greinke pitches into center field, it goes. They love it. Listen to this crowd, boy. They've been dying to do some cheering.
Well, first hit of the ball game by either side, and on that base hit right there, Orlando Cabrera keeping that hitting streak alive. At 14 now. He had a 22-game hitting streak earlier this year, coming from Oakland to Minnesota. He continued that in Minnesota, but he has been a big asset to this ball club since his arrival from the Oakland A's.
Yeah, acquired on July the 3rd. Tyler Ledendorf was sent to Oakland. Been a winner just about everywhere he has gone lately. A bit of a good luck charm, Cabrera. And now Greinke against Joe Mauer. First pitch fastball into the seats in a coveted souvenir. That's the other part of it. Not only the hitting streak, but the run scored streak. And there's that great name at the end of it. The last time it happened with Kirby.
Yeah, Kirby Puckett 14 times he was able to do that. Score 14 straight games. You see Cabrera right there looking in at Olivo.
Popped him up. Went in with a fastball there. Mauer was interested, but could never get those hands extended.
Well, it helps when you can get that fastball about 93, 94 miles an hour, too. But a lot of base runners, I said, Cabrera going off the base pad, they will look in, and if you're a catcher, you don't give more than one sign. They see maybe 2 or 3 or a wiggle, they may take off.
That's one part of the game that Greinke, it's all good for him. Look, it's very good.
Let's see what Olivo does. Does he use more than one sign? And this is a changeup right here. There's a good changeup, just missing down and away.
So 1-0 the count to Jason Kubel. Cabrera, by the way, 13 stolen bases in 17 tries. Greinke has been fabulous. 5 stolen bases against, 8 thrown out. Kind of silly, actually, as that one has popped into the seats. When you're erasing base runners as a pitcher on the mound, and I'll tell you what, Bert, a lot of times we hear about catchers' percentages. I think a lot of it's on the pitcher. I tend to point out what the pitcher does more than the catcher.
Oh, heaven, yeah. I mean, yes. I mean, if you have a high leg kick and you don't explode toward home plate, that gives that potential base stealer 1 or 2 extra steps to second base. And Miguel Olivo has a strong arm. And what Zach Greinke will do, he will bring that left knee up a little bit, but what he does so well is he explodes toward home plate.
A lot of guys that are able to be quick to the plate with the legs, the arm never catches up. His does.
See, he wants a fastball in, and it was inside.
Guys just aren't comfortable, and it's not rushing. If you're a really good athlete, which Greinke is, you name a sport, he's dominated it. If you're a really good athlete, that helps in holding runners. That great balance.
So Olivo giving only one sign, and that was a changeup right there. And after that fastball up and in, he pulls the string, and Kubel way out front.
Doesn't throw that changeup much. About 5% of the time he'll throw the changeup.
But again, he didn't have one really going into spring training. Bob McClure just had him throw changeup until he got the feel for it. Now he's a 4-pitch pitcher rather than last year he was a 3-pitch pitcher.
got him over the outside corner. That strike three, you could feel that coming.
And Kugel knew it. He's definitely looking something else right here. Wasn't looking for the fastball right down the middle.
Don't forget, visit twitter.com/MLB on Fox. Also MySpace and Facebook. Get breaking news, notes, and video clips and more. Go to myspace.com/Fox Sports or facebook.com/Fox Sports and join the community. We're Bly11 big on Twitter. Fastball is a strike right at the bell.
Do you Twitter? I do not Twitter. And I'm not on Facebook either. Are you? Probably on both, aren't you?
No, I tweet though. I tweet. I don't Twitter. I tweet.
Right.
Let's get it right. I mean, I tweeted some really key things today.
You're a tweeter then. Good breaking ball right there. Fouled off. Got a piece of Olivo. Kadire, this is again what a curveball can do. Watch Kadire right here. He's way out front. Fouls it right back into Olivo. Ouch. Boy, you're amazed. A guy like Joe Mauer can maybe win his third batting title. The way that catchers get punished night after night.
There's a debate I'll have with you here a little bit later, and I don't know if it'll be a debate. I might throw it at you now with what you said. I think Mauer did not get enough consideration in 06, and there's nothing against his teammate who won the award in Justin Morneau, but I think he should have gotten much more consideration for the MVP because of what you're talking about.
Well, you were in a small market here in Minnesota. You know, that might have hurt. And in the year that Justin had an MVP type year. And Greinke picking up another strikeout, his fourth of the ball game.
Chasing that high fastball, you bet that Cy Young Award. I think they're actually etching his name in now. We're Bly11, Darren Sutton back here in Minnesota in the Metrodome. And it has been all about the pitchers. That's why we have Bert here today.
Pitching. It's the first time Blackburn has fallen behind, other than he came into this inning 11 of 12 first pitch strikes.
It's a funny thing when you're pitching on 3 days rest. You've never done it, and you're a sinker ball pitcher. You were telling all of us that were gathered around, and it was quite a gathering before the game, that may be more effective when you're fatigued if you're a sinker ball pitcher.
Well, again, Blackburn's not an overpowering pitcher. He relies on ground ball outs, and how do you get a ground ball out? With a good sinking fastball. right there. Jacobs getting a ball up a little bit and fouling it off.
2-1 the count to Jacobs. 18 homers. We spoke of that earlier. September quiet though, hitting just .208. So limping a bit to the finish line. He's a designated hitter today. Runs that one in, so he falls behind. A 3-ball count. Haven't been into that territory very often.
Blackburn's been perfect so far. 12 up, 12 down. See where Joe Mauer moves right here. Probably a little bit on the outer half of the plate, pretty much down the middle of the plate.
Diving attempt and a base hit. Looked like that cut fastball or slider, as you were talking about, short slider out over the plate. So Jacobs gets the first hit of the ball game for Kansas City.
Yeah, if you're going to lose a no-hitter or a perfect game, you challenge him. You don't want to lose that perfect game by a walk. And Blackburn knows right here, he fell behind an account. He has to come in with a fastball. And good hitting by Jacobs, looking for the fastball and hitting it sharply past Punto at second base. Good effort right there by Punto. Put the ball into center field.
It's a simple word you used, effort, but it's a word that defines the Twins' way. A way that from top to bottom, whether you're playing in rookie ball or in the big leagues, as Cayaspo takes strike one, it's expected. Started with Tom Kelly, Ron Gardenhire carrying the torch now.
Well, and it filters all the way down through the minor league system when the young man first signs with the Minnesota Twins. These guys have a big input on every manager at the minor league level and pitching coach.
One and one the count. You could sense it today. The entire coaching staff out in the outfield. They weren't staying a little bit later up in the locker room or sipping coffee on the bench. Out interacting while the guys stretched, talked about it. Ground balls being taken an hour before regular batting practice. It's game 161, folks. Hot shot, base hit, Cayaspo into right field with a rocket shot it goes. So back-to-back singles and back-to-back pitches out over the plate. Fox Sports is proud to support the Michael J. Fox Foundation for Parkinson's research. The Michael J. Fox Foundation's goal is to drive the development of better treatments and a cure for Parkinson's. Now, you want to learn more, so please visit michaeljfox.org.
Yeah, please do that. We have, my wife Gail and I have a walk up here in Minnesota for Parkinson's. My dad passed away of Parkinson's in 2004, so it's very, very close to my heart, too. Actually, I actually ate a couple night crawlers this year and raised over $15,000 for Parkinson's.
Good for you. Thanks for sharing that.
And they are edible, too.
That. Not the night crawler thing, but the other stuff. The heart and soul stuff.
Good bunt right there. Good bunt.
You bet. And in time for the out. Everyone always tabs the American League as a non-bunt league when that's just not the case. Not all the time.
A great bunt right there by Tian. He's only been asked one other time to lay down a bunt, and he does it perfectly. Why? Because he makes Tolbert, the third baseman, field the ball, and then the runner at second, Jacobs, can basically walk to third when you pull that third baseman in. So an outstanding bunt by Mark Tian.
And if you're the Kansas City Royals, you're Trey Hillman, you have Zach Greinke out there, 1 or 2 is very important.
Yes.
That first 1 or 2 psychologically.
And if you're the pitcher out there and you're facing Zach Greinke, you know you better find a way to get out of this inning.
Well, he just made a pitch, jamming Olivo, firing in time for the out is Tolbert. This crowd loves it. Runners still at second and third.
He struck out Olivo on a high fastball his first at bat, but then he went in with that two-seam fastball. You see where Mauer's setting up. Olivo trying to hit that ball in the outfield somewhere. He gets jammed right there. Tolbert comes in, has a little trouble handling that ball, but able to get it and get the big second out for the Twins.
Now
watch Tolbert right here. The ball kind of got behind him a little bit, but he stayed with it and got the second out, and runners could not advance.
Just a quick reminder here, Rick Anderson coming out. Your thoughts if you were to be a little fly on the wall in that conversation?
Well, I think Anderson's right here. He's just talking to him maybe about Alex Gordon, a good hitter, even though he's struggling this year, a left-handed hitter. And then you have basically the rookie in Hernandez on deck. They just want to go exactly how are they going to approach Gordon right here.
As Bert mentioned, that base is open. Single to start this inning by Jacobs, the first base runner in the last 25 batters going back to his last outing for Blackburn. A little bit of stress for the first time, but boy, did he make a pitch to Oliva. Fastball is low, 1-0 the count. This is where this crowd looks to jump behind Blackburn, and you can feel it start to swell.
That's a big at bat right here for Gordon too. He wants to help his teammate Zach Greinke put a couple runs on the board.
The 1-0 inside corner. That's slider. 1-1 the count.
That's the curveball right there. He went to slider for ball one, and then he went to the curveball. You see the bigger break right there. Just a little bit bigger break, and he gets a strike.
Two different breaking balls giving him a look at the softer touch. 1-1. Couple of runners on. Outside. The one thing that Blackburn has been able to really thrive is when this happens. When the Ducks are on the pond with no one on base, opponents hit 303. Runners in scoring position, 233.
I just tell you, this is a time that you really have to bear down.
The defenders have to be ready on this turf. Inside corner, 2-2.
Again, Mark Wegner behind the plate. Remember in the first couple innings, that pitch was not called. Now because both starters are hitting the glove, and here comes the crowd into play.
The 2-2. High pop right side. Second baseman Punto puts it away. Going back to work for these Kansas City Royals.
It just shows you the makeup right there of Zach Greinke, what he's had to go through this year in situations like that. I'm sure he sat on the bench, a couple runners on, one out, runners at second and third. Okay, guys, he's going to get me a couple runs, and then boom, another 0 on the board for the Royals.
0-1 the count to Delman Young. Blackburn.
Great job of pitching right there.
Into center field, charge it. And having to play it on a hop out there, the center fielder, Mitch Meyer. Zach Greinke makes, according to his skipper and his teammates, the Yankees out of the Royals because he is an ace. His skipper, Trey Hillman, spoke of that a moment ago.
Well, that's the feeling that he gives you because he's done such a phenomenal job this season. I think there is a little extra added effort and intensity to the game when these guys know what a great pitcher's on the mound and what he's going to bring to his part with the way a pitcher can dominate his part of a ball game and set the tone and momentum.
Trey, Burt Bly 11 here. Zach Greinke, should he win the Cy Young this year?
Absolutely, Burt. For me, it's a no-brainer. I always preface it by saying I'm prejudiced, and I am. The reason I'm prejudiced, though, is not just because he's our player, but because I've had an opportunity to see all his starts, and I can't see anybody being any better than Zach Greinke in the American League, and maybe the American League and the National League this year included. For me, all you got to do is just look at the stats and see what he's done. I don't think in individual awards, I don't think anyone should ever be penalized because the team didn't score runs for you, and that's the only reason the young man doesn't have 20 or more wins right now.
Thank you, Skipper.
Thank you.
He's right. I mean, he's right on the money, and he spoke with some passion.
Yeah, you would just think in this situation that Morales maybe is asked to bunt because this might be a 1-0 ball game, but Morales has not been asked to bunt. He does not have a sacrifice yet this year, and with Delman Young, he's not the quickest as far as, on the base paths, but you want to get that runner at least in the scoring position for the next two hitters in Tolbert and Punto.
Serving as the DH is Morales. Really did a lot of hitting in AAA, nearly 340.
Yeah. But then again, that also tells you what Ron Gardenhire knows about Morales. Let him swing away. He doesn't feel that maybe he can lay down a bunt, or maybe sometimes you play this game on hunches. You lay down a bunt, now you got Tolbert and Punto, a lot of different situations. I got a feeling this guy's going to get a hit, so let him swing away.
Hunches. In the world of computers and matchups, what do you mean hunches?
Baseball is still, you have to play the hunch. You feel it.
That's a foul ball. Hacked to the break ball. Great quote by the man at first who got the hit on a slider, and Delman Young talking about Greinke. He said after the ball game last night, after his grand slam, he said, and I quote, "Go to church and pray that we can score some runs." He's nasty. He's going to try to go 9 innings. Delman Young on Zach Greinke. I don't know which church he was at this morning. I'm sure he backed it up. Oh my goodness, just blew him away with the fastball away. He's lived out there to lefties, and he has been living near the top of the candidacy for the Cy Young Award. Here are guys, Bert, we were talking about this. Justin Verlander may go tomorrow. 18 wins. CC Sabathia rocked last night. He's got 19 wins. I think Felix Hernandez has got to be the guy right there with Zach Greinke right now.
Yeah, I mean, we're not, I'm saying Zach Greinke should win the award, but these guys right here, my goodness, they've all had outstanding years, and it's not up to me, it's not up to you, it's up to the writers to determine who should win the Cy Young, but 4 very good candidates.
Good looking graphic right there. With all those candidates, as we mentioned, Sabathia last night at Tampa Bay, 9 runs, 5 earned, and 2 2/3, his second shortest outing of the season. So far, the numbers for Zach Greinke.
Al Tolbert looking down at third base coach Scotty Alger. Delman Young at first base, 2 stolen bases in 6 attempts. So if the Twins do anything, it might be a hit and run over a straight steal.
Runner was on the move. That's exactly what you called for. Not even close. Gunned down. That's exactly what you're talking about, why you have to protect.
Well, in last night's ball game, I predicted that Delman Young was going to hit a grand slam, and he did. And right here, I thought a hit and run might be put on. Greinke getting it outer half of the plate. You see Tolbert has no chance of making contact, and that strong throw of Olivo. So the quick release of Greinke getting the ball quickly to Olivo gets that out.
That's what we talked about earlier, how you can help yourself as a pitcher. It's not just throwing strikes and throwing hard and having a wicked breaking ball. As Young and Gardenhire now live to fight on.
Well, you have to take chances sometimes. You know, he could have bunted Morales. He felt Morales was going to hit right there. He said, let's keep, you know, with Greinke on the mound, you're not going to score many runs, first of all. And if you put a hit and run on right there, you might have the second baseman, shortstop, whoever's going to cover the bag. You open up a hole for basically a base hit type hitter in Matt Tolbert. It didn't work out.
Matt Tolbert takes a fastball that nips the outside corner. Zach Greinke against teams that are winners, and these Twins have been winners. 7-4 with a 1.24 ERA against +500 clubs.
Is that all?
Chopper in
Nice
between
play.
hop. You bet, nice play. Gordon fires in time for the out. A leadoff base runner. He is erased. We roll on. It's all about the pitchers. Year's life well spent. And it's been a well spent couple of decades here in Minnesota. As the president of Twin Sports, Jerry Bell, peels it back. One more home game, regular season home game. They hope there's more in this ballpark.
Yeah, Jerry Bell, kind of the mastermind. It took 15 years, really, to get a new stadium here in Minnesota. And Jerry Bell was at every meeting that pertained to getting a new Twin stadium. Well, what a pitcher's duel here we have going this afternoon. Both starters, Nick Blackburn, Zach Greinke, have been on the top of their game.
Into the seats it goes. That's a breaking ball away. Not a bad 0-2 pitch. Tried to grab the outside corner of the backdoor breaking ball. Hernandez grounded back to Blackburn back in the third inning.
Yeah, Blackburn, good pitch count, 65 pitches, 47 have been strikes. Been able to get ahead of 15 of 18 batters.
Not a bad idea. Comes back down and in to Hernandez.
Yeah, Hernandez just 24 years old in his first season with the Royals. Spent most of the season down in Omaha. Came over from the Baltimore Oriole organization.
Couldn't get the inside corner. That one looked up. 2-2 the count. Hit over 300 in AAA this year. That's why he earns this opportunity. Also, Yuniesky Betancourt fouled a ball off his left foot. That's another reason that we see Hernandez out there at short. Blackburn, crowd bubbling again. Outside, 3-2 the count.
Well, Blackburn's given up a couple singles, both of them coming at the beginning of the top of the 5th inning. Jacobs and then Cayaspo. Then he worked out of that situation. 3 strikeouts for Blackburn, no walks in the ball game.
Got him up and away he chases, and down goes Hernandez. Tomorrow on Fox NFL Sunday, we talk with Bears quarterback Jay Cutler, who tells us how he got back on track after a rough start. They, of course, are battling the Lions. Plus, our guys will discuss how Brett Favre is preparing for his first game against the Packers. I think they've heard of him here. It's all on the Ford Drive 1 Fox NFL Sunday pregame show tomorrow at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific.
Brett Favre's with the Vikings?
I just heard that.
Oh, my goodness.
I just heard that.
How about the Lions? 1-0 over the last start.
One game. That's exactly right.
That's the way they have to look at it. Not 1-19, 1-0.
You're speaking my language when you're talking Lions football. Come on now. Don't get me all excited. 0-1 the count. The Vikings' first regular season game in this ballpark was in 1982 September against the Buccaneers. It was a 17-10 win. Oh, it's got all kinds of history, this Metrodome. That one fouled straight back.
Well, one thing, Darren, if you go back to 1982, this stadium was built for the Vikings at that time. The Minnesota Twins just kind of piggybacked at the last second under owner Calvin Griffith, and that's why they had so much little problems here that first year in '82.
No balls and 2 strikes. Bloomquist takes a breaking ball away. Let's see, when you want to streak into the end zone, that's where you head. You can see the Lions taking it 100 yards to the other end. And on this show, we like to point out the Budweiser sign in the other end zone. Bouncing ball in between hop. What a play by Cabrera. You know it's true, the hop on this turf, that doesn't make it any easier.
No, it really doesn't. We saw Alex Gordon make a nice play to end the bottom of the 5th inning. And right there, Cabrera comes charging in. He knows he has only one play, and that's to hope that that ball does exactly what it did, come up rather than stay down. And on the turf, you're going to get that natural type of bounce.
Mitch Meyer makes an all-speed pitch that darts over the outside corner. These Minnesota Twins have played very well within their own division. That's why they're here. Change up, hold the string on. Fastball is low. In-game box score brought to you by Hyundai, the all-new 360 horsepower rear-wheel drive Hyundai Genesis Coupe. We'll show it to you in just a moment. First, Blackburn rocks and fires. Got him with a breaking ball. I'll just tell you this about that box score. It's going to be added to because the inning they thought it was over.
Mark Wagner saying that Joe Mauer caught the ball before.
Let's see.
And Trey Hillman's going to come out and argue right here. Did that ball hit the ground? Ooh. Wow, very close right there. And now Michael Kadire, you know, he's not used to playing a lot of first base. He went back toward the dugout.
He was trotting in to get him a cool beverage.
On strike 3, if the catcher doesn't catch it in the air and it hits the ground first, there's supposed to be a play at first base, and there was not.
We'll keep an eye on this discussion, and we'll revisit it when we come back. tell you what, Bert.
It's too close to call right there. And Joe Mauer, you know what he did is he went out and Mark Wegner, I think, called him out. But then Mauer, as he looked to me like he went out, he's going to throw to first, but Michael Kadire ran toward the dugout. So nobody was covering first base.
And then Rick Reed followed it up just because he thought he was supposed to by giving the safe call at first, and then Wagner reminded everyone, look, he caught that ball. I think it bounced. I mean, that's what it looked like to me.
It was too close right there. Again, Kadire has not played a lot of first base, so you know his first reaction is strike three, go in the dugout, let's go get some runs. Take another look right here, and boy, from that angle right there, it looks like he caught it.
Oh, you're right.
It was so close. Now watch the umpire right here. Mark Wegner saying yes, he's out. No tag is necessary if he makes that motion right there. Now if the umpire feels that that ball hit the dirt, he's not going to signal out until that throw is to first base.
2-2. All you youngsters watching, we've seen them all throughout the ballpark today. Future Twins, they hope one and all. Lesson learned there. Run no matter what.
Yeah.
Run no matter what. It costs you nothing to take off and run.
Well, Meyer did. Meyer did take off.
Absolutely.
You know, right there. But, you know, if you're a young baseball fan out there, watch these two guys pitch here today.
Oh, yes. There's no doubt about that. Foul ball. Just foul. Let's take a peek at the in-game box score for the Twins, brought to you by Hyundai. Introduces the all-new 306 horsepower rear-wheel drive Hyundai Genesis Coupe, 306 horsepower. These box scores are quick reads.
Yeah, there's a lot of zeros, a lot of offers. Only a couple one for something, 1 for 2, 1 for 2 for Cabrera and Young off of Zach Greinke. And Blackburn has just been just as sharp. Only 2 singles allowed. Back-to-back singles leading off the 5th.
Last time out for Greinke, he went 7, gave up 1 run. He beat these Minnesota Twins. 2-2. High with the slider. Got underneath that one a bit. Pushed it uphill. Doesn't do that very often.
And watch him make the adjustment. That's what good pitchers can do. They know exactly what they did wrong, and now he's going to come back and say, okay, maybe I have to stay a little bit longer over that pitching rubber to get my arm out front. And that's exactly what he did. He took a little turn, but he ends up throwing that changeup outside.
A walk to Punto. Energy cranking up here. Talking about energy, top performances, historic rivalries, walk-off drama. In recent years, the ALCS American League Championship Series has provided some of baseball's most memorable moments. What will happen this October? Don't miss the 09 ALCS, followed by the World Series. It all starts October 16th, exclusively here on Fox.
Always the exciting part of the season, isn't it?
The best. That's why guys try to get in shape for mid-February. Bunting. Span. Greinke shoots it in time for the out. Moving the runner on for Orlando Cabrera. Beautiful bunt. You know what? He was bunting to move, but also trying to bunt for a hit as well.
Well, remember last inning, it was Delman Young that led off that inning. And then Jose Morales not asked to bunt right here. Denard Span. Perfect job right here. Greinke feels it. See Nick Punto going into second base. And for Span, his 11th sacrifice of the year, where Morales had not sacrificed at all. So Gardy again saying, you know what? I wasn't comfortable with maybe Morales bunting. I am with that man right there, Denard Span.
So now Orlando Cabrera. Very shallow they play him in the outfield, especially Mitch Meyer out there in center field. There's the defense. That's how they set up, just about straight up on the infield. He has been red hot in this situation. That's why they keep an eye on the base runner. Cabrera hitting .343 since September 1st with runners in scoring position.
Well, and the Kansas City Royals know with Nick Punto at second base, if you do not pay attention to him, he can try to steal third. So it was Hernandez, the shortstop, that's going to try to keep Punto close to second.
Which could open up a hole. Blazing fastball runs in. Cabrera in his career against Zach Greinke, 8 hits and 25 at bats. That's a 320 clip.
That's not bad. That's very good against Zach Greinke.
You could fill a coat closet with guys that can say that. In other words, not many folks. And that's why.
I haven't seen your closets.
Yeah. I don't bring in your kind of paycheck, you know, so.
Well, Zach Greinke right here just rearing back and challenging Cabrera with that high fastball. Greinke with a couple walks in the ball games, allowed only 2 singles with 5 strikeouts. And good numbers for both starters.
Remember, Blackburn going on 3 days rest. Hung a breaking ball. Heading over is Gordon, and that one in the seats. I'll tell you this, he got away with one there.
Well, again, though, but you watch what that slow curveball or breaking ball does. It gets Cabrera way out front. He just threw him a 94-mile-an-hour fastball by him, but you see Cabrera right there. I mean, he's now hitting all hands rather than the lower part of his body because the slowness of that curveball. Great pitch.
So, what you're telling me then is that even bad pitches, because he has such a range and such gifts, can be good pitches.
Yeah, he'll throw that fastball at 95, 96, sometimes 98, and all of a sudden throw that curveball at 69.
1-2 the count. Fastball is high, now goes back to 95 miles an hour. The pitcher, by the way, just to finish Bert's thought, that those 91, 92 with just okay control, that ball gets hit out, that hanging breaking ball. But when you can do the things that Greinke can, that's what we're speaking
of. Well, I think as a hitter, you would have to sit on the fastball and then adjust to a breaking ball because of his fastball that's in the mid-90s. I know nothing about hitting, believe me, but, you know, talking to some of the analysts that we have here in Minnesota, Roy Smalley, Ron Coomer, they're always talking about sit on the fastball and then make the adjustment.
In between, crafty base running, no doubt, but firing on across, making the play there, the infielder, Alex Gordon. So a runner on third, 2 bases open. Here's Joe. Here's his family standing. The entire 50,000 strong family.
I'm sure the Kansas City Royals, even though you're Zach Greinke, they went over. You do not want this guy to beat you. So it'll be a very interesting at-bat right here between Greinke and Mauer, and how are they going to pitch him here?
Scoreless ball game. Both teams have just 2 hits. Buries that fastball in.
And I think that's what he's going to do right there. He's going to go fastballs in and then off speed, slow stuff away. But if you're going to throw something slowed away to Joe, you saw Cabrera a little out front. Joe does a great job of keeping those hands back, and he'll hit that ball in the left field. Greinke got him to pop up in his last at-bat to left field on a good fastball inner half of the plate.
Back in there, popped up, long run. No chance.
This might be the game on the line right here, and both times Greinke, when Olivo sat in, he did not miss. He went hard in.
One in St. Paul, Minnesota. They followed him. They watched him starting in junior high. He still is theirs. And looking at the numbers, he's Greinke's as well.
Olivo sitting inside again.
Off speed, threw him a hard slider down. I mean, right at the shoe top.
Well, in a situation in Kansas City 6 days ago, he had runners in scoring position, and he had to face Mauer, and he had to face Kubel. He struck out Joe Mauer on that exact same pitch right there, that slider down and in. This time Mauer fouled it off.
Mauer 7 for his last 15 with runners in scoring position. 10 RBIs when it matters most. The 0-2. Slider taking all the way. You have to be so on balance to take a pitch like that.
Well, he's got such a good eye at the plate. 71 walks on the season. He's been intentionally walked 13 times. But you see that slider, he's trying to get Mauer to maybe go after it. And only 62 strikeouts, 71 walks. Very good eye.
Punto at third, the 1-2, line drive, base hit.
Well, that was Joe Mauer who made the adjustment.
It back. Walk us through it.
What a hitter. Going inside, first pitch, going back inside again. Then he tries the slider. Joe Mauer fouls it off. He goes for another breaking ball, and then he goes back inside again. And Joe, you see him react right there, how quick he opened up and lined that ball into right field. That's making the adjustment as a hitter.
Wow. 1-0 the score.
That's why he's going to win his third American League batting title right there.
Change up out front of that pitch. And the count 1-1. By the way, let's not overlook, we can certainly cheer if you're a fan here, the star, the favorite son, but don't forget about Denard Span's sacrifice bunt. That got the ball rolling in the right direction. Painting over the outside corner, good fastball. 1-2 the count. 96 runs batted in. There's Span. This is the kind of clubhouse and roster. He'll get just as many fist bumps and high fives from that man and his teammates as the guy who just drove him in.
Any club should get that. You know, anytime that you sacrifice yourself to get a runner over, there better be high fives. Good block right there by Olivo.
88-mile-an-hour slider. Great form as well.
Yeah, look at the breaking ball where it lands, and Olivo just, right there off his chest protector. And off that ball hits a chest protector, it kills the ball more or less, where it doesn't tear him left or right. It stayed right in front of him.
One to nothing, Minnesota leads it against Zach Greinke and the Royals. Lifted left field, hugging the line. Bloomquist, long run into the corner he goes. He cannot make a play. It's a fair ball. And it's a ground rule double. So Mauer will be sent back to third. I mean, you want to talk about tracking that foul line. With a bounce, runners on second and third now.
Boy, it sure looked to me that this ball was foul, but maybe where Bloomquist positioned himself to try to catch the ball. The ball kept slicing down the left field line, and looks like he reaches in foul territory to get the ball. Let's see right there. No, he made contact in fair territory. Now see, if that ball is foul, even though he's in fair territory and he makes contact, that ball's a fair ball. And that ball, a break for the Royals. Hits off the glove of Bloomquist and then jumps into the stand, so Joe Mauer cannot score. Great effort by Bloomquist, and that's tough here in this baggy, Teflon baggy roof to try to keep an eye on it and then hustle over there in the corner to try to make a great catch.
Effort has never been questioned by the man out of Arizona State University, Willie Bloomquist. Now Michael Kadire. He is 0 for 2, a line out and a strikeout. Two huge runs standing out there for the Twins. Off-speed, slow curveball, fooled him badly.
And what you're seeing Greinke do right here now, Kubel, he hit the fastball the other way. He's, rather than going harder, he's going softer. And that's pitching again. And it takes a long time to learn, and this young man knows how to pitch, Zach Greinke.
In, and it gets by Olivo, and did it hit the batter? Yes, it did. You could see Kadire jackknife out of the way. It looked like it nipped a part of him, and it did. Otherwise, that's a run for the Twins.
Greinke trying to run that two-seam fastball inside. And Kadire maybe hit his shirt. And Mark Wegner right there. And just got a piece of him. And Kadire will go to first.
Well, last night the bases were loaded, and this man was hitting. And he sent this city and this state on its ear. Delman Young, a grand slam home run last night.
And his first career grand slam. That coming off Lenny Donardo, a left-handed pitcher.
Line drive, well struck right field. Going back, it's over his head. Team can't make the play. That will empty the bases. Young into second. 3-run score.
For the second night in a row, it's Delman Young, the hitting hero. 5 RBIs in last night's ball game, tying a career high. Jumped on that first fastball from Greinke and hit it sharply. And Tian kind of took a bad route right there, and the ball ended up over his head. Rather than going straight back, you can see the reaction of the Twins dugout. As the Twins take a 4-0 lead.
Leaving his feet, Hernandez. He'll have to eat it. Jose Morales has runners now on first and third. 4-0 Minnesota against Cy Young candidate and ace of this Royal staff, Zach Greinke.
Well, Nick Blackburn going to get loose to go out for the next inning, but Hernandez right here, maybe a good decision right here. Maybe he didn't get a good grip on that ball. Rather than maybe overthrowing the first baseman, allows Young to score. That doesn't happen too often.
The ERA in his last 8 starts has gone down and down to where it nearly is at 2. Line drive right to the shortstop, Luis Hernandez. You can hear the cheers in Minnesota. And you can hear the groans in Michigan. Looky here, Nick Blackburn has some runs to work with. And the right-hander working on 3 days rest just misses the inside corner. Minnesota leads it 4-0.
Oh, Billy Butler so far 0 for 2 in the ball game, and for Blackburn, that's only the 4th time that he has not been able to get strike one on that first hitter.
And on his hands, beautiful pitch. Charging, firing is Cabrera, the shortstop. Time now for Taco Bell. Bring the heat. Well, neither one of these guys do things the same way, do they, Bert?
No, I mean, you can see the 98-mile-an-hour fastball from Greinke, and he does a great job of changing speeds. And Blackburn's pretty consistent. He relies on that 92, 93-mile-an-hour sinker.
We'll have to get a couple of those volcano tacos on the way out of the ball yard here. Well, you will as well. Here's Mike Jacobs. Fastball runs up and out of the zone. A thought on Zach Greinke. 3 runs or more in an inning 4 times this year. The first time he's given up 4 runs in an inning this season.
You look at that inning, what led that inning off, the walk to Nick Punto. My goodness, the number 9 hitter.
That one belted deep right field, turning and watching it sail way out of here is Kubel. So not done yet, these Kansas City Royals, for their ace. Jacobs 19 homers, his 2nd hit of the ball game, RBI number 61.
And these Royals aren't going to give up. In last night's ball game, the Twins had a 10-0 lead. Next thing they look up late in the ball game, it's a 10-7 ball game, and if one more runner comes on, gets on base, they have the tying run at home plate. So this club isn't going to go away slowly. The good sinker right there, but Jacobs with that uppercut swing makes it a 4-1 ball game.
Callaspo. That one dives down and away.
You know, Darren, when I was here in 1976, Gene Mauch was a manager of the Twins. And anybody that despised leadoff walks more than that man right there.
Fly ball right field. Is there room this time in the ballpark for Kubel? You bet there is. Let's take a look around baseball. It's time now for a DirecTV game break. Follow your favorite MLB team no matter where you live with DirecTV. Top of the first, Ryan Braun getting it going. He thought his club would be fighting in October. They're just trying to send one last shot over the bow. Craig Counsell scoring for Braun, 32 home runs. Brewers and Cardinals. There you see the final 5-4. Milwaukee wins it.
It'll be fun to watch that National League as they wind down. That Colorado Dodger game, boy, is that going to be exciting to watch.
Ran into Jim Tracy right after the All-Star break when his club had been clicking for about a month, the skipper for the Rockies. Everyone was saying, we got a chance to get back in the wild card if you keep playing well. And I give him credit as that one misses away because in July he said, and I quote, wild card, we want the Dodgers. Well, here they are.
Yeah. And who would have thought?
Good fastball. Could do nothing with it. Gian is erased. 1, 2, 3 with a homer squeezed in. 4-1. Zach Greinke is done, folks. And the Twins, young and old, veteran and alum, enjoying this ball game this afternoon. And Herbeck looking on from the posh suite.
And again, here I sit with you. Ramon Colon coming into the ball game, making his 43rd relief appearance. 2 wins, 3 losses out of the bullpen, 49 2/3 innings, 22 walks, 29 strikeouts.
And right away shows a very good arm and a good fastball to Nick Punto. That pesky Nick Punto.
Yeah, it was again Nick Punto's leadoff walk that Zach Greinke on a 3-2 changeup.
Punto this time, boy, they have him played the other way. That one is put into the glove of Mitch Meyer. Punto got it started. There was a sacrifice bunt along the way. The Pepsi clutch performer in this ball game, Nick Blackburn. He has been a beneficiary of all that has gone on. It's the official soft drink of Major League Baseball. Congratulating Nick, today's MLB Clutch Performer of the game. Learn more about the MLB Clutch Performer of the Month award at PepsiClutch.com. 3 days rest, Bert. I'd say that's clutch.
That's very clutch. And you know what? He was able to attack the strike zone. He's still in this ball game. Blackburn with 86 pitches in 7 innings. That's how you get deep into the ball game. Keep that pitch count down. Zach Greinke out of this ball game only because he threw so many pitches in that 6th inning. He threw 29 pitches in the 6th.
One and one the count to Denard Span. We mentioned his sacrifice bunt after the walk to Punto. Now 9 Twins would eventually hit, but without the walk and the sac bunt, we're not talking about a big inning. Certainly not talking about 4 earned runs against Greinke. That is a fly ball center field. Colon doing quick work of these Minnesota Twins. 2 up, 2 down. And here in about an hour, the crowd will all be filed in Detroit, Michigan, and the anxious Tigers fans will cheer against Freddie Garcia, who pitches for the White Sox, and cheer for young Alfredo Figueroa. That's right, Alfredo Figueroa pitches for the Detroit Tigers. I want to say hello to Michigan. We know all of you are watching. As that one is a fastball chased away. And this is what we're talking about.
Twins have been in this situation before late in the season, back in 2006. You know, they kind of had to wait around here when it was the Kansas City Royals who beat the Detroit Tigers. Now, both teams were going to go to the playoffs. There's the starters tonight. Freddie Garcia has been pitching extremely well for the Chicago White Sox. Figueroa just making his 3rd start of the year. So, you know, you'll think, well, you know, it's got to be, you know, in favor of the Chicago White Sox because Garcia has so much experience. But here today, you look, you know, Zach Greinke, my goodness, against the Twins, the way he's been pitching, Cy Young Award winner or possible Cy Young Award winner, and it was Nick Blackburn who stepped up and has pitched great so far in this ball game.
I don't think anybody around here will make that mistake of.
That's why you got to love the game of baseball. You never know when you go to the ballpark or a ball game what you might see.
These Twins take nothing for granted. They have the 6th best record in the American League. They were 45 and 44 at the All-Star break. The last time they were in first, May 14th. They don't take anything for granted. And talking about what it means for Freddie Garcia, Jake Peavy had a great quote. He beat Detroit last night. He said, just playing it out's no fun. At least against the Tigers, you're playing with something on the line. It's fun playing against guys in an atmosphere where a lot matters. We hope the roles are reversed, Peavy said, next year. Bouncing ball into center field. Cabrera with his 2nd hit. He is 2 for 4 again. Earlier extended his hitting streak to 14 games.
He's one of the reasons the Twins are only 1 game behind the Tigers. The Twins added him to this lineup. They added Carl Pavano into that starting rotation, and then also Ron Mayhay and John Roush in the bullpen.
Trey Hillman sending a shout out to the bullpen. We'll step aside and reset in Minnesota when we return. The left-hander is Dusty Hughes. He is on with 2 outs to face MVP candidate Joe Mauer, who drove in the first big run of this ball game for Minnesota. He takes strike 1.
Yeah, Hughes, 27 years old, a September call-up for the Royals. He had made 1 start for the Royals, his 7th appearance overall. 15 strikeouts in 13 innings. Hughes with a very good fastball, hard-breaking ball.
They chant MVP as that one is lifted into left field and put away in left field by Willie Bloomquist. We roll on to the 8th inning, 4-1. Nail biter. What's been going on in Minnesota?
Is John here?
I think he is here in speaker form only.
Oh, okay.
Only in audio file form only, if you will, to speak like the young kids do. This is what they've gotten out of Nick Blackburn, and this is why they were okay with giving him the ball on 3 days rest. That one belted to the gap. Chasing. Espan still going, looking up, bounce high off that wall, and up and over for a ground rule double.
Well, I think Olivo, you see the strength right there of Olivo taking that low pitch the other way. And Blackburn at 88 pitches. Not a bad pitch right here. It was down in the zone, but Olivo just kind of hit it the other way. Span had played him a little bit shallow. He has to go back for it, and Ron Gardenhire says, hey, Nick Blackburn, great job, but I'm coming to get you.
Jose Mojarez goes to work, the left-hander. Fastball in. Tell us a little bit more about him, please.
Well, a hard-throwing left-hander with a good slider. Joe Mauer going out right now with a runner at second base. I think Mauer may have been crossed up right there, just reminding him what sign that he's using.
Just for men, hair color, hold leaders. We'd love to bring them to you. The guys that pitched here in the 7th and the 8th inning. Just as these relievers keep their team in the game, you too can stay in the game with Just for Men hair color. And Matt Guerrero.
You can see two guys out of the bullpen, Matt Guerrero and Jose Mojarez, been able to do one thing, and that's get to Joe Nathan.
Yeah, that one came across the plate. It was 97 miles an hour there. It was only 89.
Yeah, he's got a good fastball right there. Big kid. At 6 foot tall, but about 235. Just 24 years old, out of Venezuela.
Belted, kill, deep right field. It'll say out of here, and we have got ourselves officially a ball game now. The Royals and Alex Gordon not done yet. Wow.
Well, again, these Royals over the past years, you know that they are not going to give up. Home run number 5 on the year for Gordon. And we just talked about the previous fastball up in the zone. This one he left pretty much right down Broadway. And Gordon did not miss it. Boy, good solid swing right there. And that's why one reason the Kansas City Royals have to be excited to keep this guy healthy for next year.
I just thought the same thing. The raw ability that goes into that swing. A power hitting lefty against a left-handed pitcher. Brian Pena now will hit. And he will bat for Hernandez. He gives that one a ride. Is it dying in the outfield? It is. Onto the turf it goes. This crowd was electric just moments ago for the man that came out of the ball game. Now they're not as pleased.
You know, fans are fickle. They want to win in the worst way. And Blackburn right there, you know, he did a great job here. But Ron Gardenhire coming out to make another pitching change.
Of the game goes to work, 6 feet 11 inches tall, and he has been standing tall for these Twins since he was acquired from the Arizona Diamondbacks. For 14 games, 1.98 ERA.
Yeah, making his 15th relief appearance. You see Mojarez and Blackburn sitting next to each other right there. I'm sure they're not talking. And a hit and run put on right there.
Tug Hewlett is the pinch runner, and he was right away on the move. Roush, a guy you can run on. Obvious reasons. He's 6'11". Long stride, long legs, slow coming to the plate.
Yeah, Roush has a fastball that'll get in the mid-90s, 90 to 95. Very good curveball, a slider, and then a changeup.
Didn't have his velocity to break open the season. He found it in about late May, and since then he has been dialed up. Popped up, and it's a foul ball. Here is the in-game box score for the Royals, brought to you by Hyundai, introducing the all-new 306 horsepower rear-wheel drive Hyundai Genesis Coupe. And you can see, of course, Hernandez down there at the bottom. We're good friends with Hyundai and our partnership. Pena there pinch hitting with a single, and Hewlett running now in that spot.
Well, Jacobs with that solo home run made it a 4-1 ball game. Then Alex Gordon, we just saw him hit the 2-run home run to where we're at right now, a 4-3 ball game.
So the Hyundai drives out of the shot, and the Royals think they have a shot. In on the hands, fighting it off. Bloomquist, a beautiful piece of hitting. Look at that base running. Hewlett never took a thing for granted, races all the way to third. These Kansas City Royals with nobody out looking to tie this ball game up.
Wow, Hewlett just coming back from Europe, where he participated in the World Cup on that USA team that won the World Cup. But an inside-out swing, and Hewlett seeing where that ball lands. He knows where Span has to go to his left to get that ball. And he hustles into third. So the tying run just 90 feet away.
And Blackburn and Majerus nervously watching that one as it died out there. Not hit hard. Doesn't matter. Fastball grabs the outside corner. 0-1 the count to Mitch Meyer. He is 0 for 3. Grounded out to second, popped to short, and struck out. Meyer, born in Michigan. And don't you know that with nobody out, the entire state of Michigan is pulling for Mr. Meyer right now.
Yeah, played his college ball out of the University of Toledo. Royals' #1 pick back in 2003.
Inside slider, he did not go around.
Yeah, Tim Timmons, the third base umpire, was watching very closely if Meyer went too far, and he said he did not. Roush went with that slider down and in.
Even when Roush is at 90, 91, 92, even if it's on a day like that, because of his height and his leverage, it's got to feel like it's on you quickly.
Well, a lot of batting eyes, too, behind that hitter. You know, he's at a height that normally maybe only a Randy Johnson or somebody like that, but Randy was more from the side, where Roush is right over the top. And sometimes, you know, as tall as he is, as a hitter, you might see that crowd out in center field.
Get some white T-shirts out there in center field. Boy, that's a great point. 1-1 the count. Shot, picked. There's one on to first. A double play. What a play there by Punto. The game is tied at 4. Roush angry with himself that it's tied back up. So a fresh start, but a fabulous play there by Punto. They turn it over.
What a great defensive play on this turf right here. That ball was smoked. Meyer couldn't have hit it any harder on the ground. And it one-hops Nick Punto. And quickly, he gets that ball over to Cabrera to complete the double play. Meyer will not get an RBI, but the Royals do tie it at 4 apiece.
And for John Roush, since joining the Twins, he has inherited 7 base runners, and 5 have scored. 5 of the 7 have scored. Well, it's going to be even more electric now because these fans know they have to make Blackburn and his Twins up because it's tied. by Holiday Inn, the official power partner of Major League Baseball road trips. By Burger King, who reminds you to have it your way. And by Progressive Insurance, the freedom to name your price. Dusty Hughes will go back to work. First pitch dives down and in. Jason Kubel. 4-4. Bottom of the 8th inning. It couldn't be more dead even. Zach Greinke gave up 4 runs. He is chased from this ball game. As that one bounces in there, 2-0 the count.
Well, Hughes, I mentioned already. I mean, he a September call-up. All of a sudden, he finds himself in this situation. Juan Cruz starting to loosen up for the Royals.
All speed, and able to hold on to that ball. 3-0 the count to Olivo. Get much more pressure packed. Nearly 49,000 on hand.
And Bob McClure, who was a left-hander himself, and I'm going to say it, threw a lot of junk up there. But he played a lot of years at the major league level, and he's done a great job here in Kansas City.
Let's take a quick peek while he visits. Time now for our DirecTV game break. Follow your favorite MLB team no matter where you live with DirecTV. Talking about the Marlins and talking about the Philadelphia Phillies. Hanley Ramirez, what a year he is having. Chris Coughlin scores 1-0. Then Ryan Howard, number 45 on the season. 3-0 at that point. Howard knocked it out. And 4-1 in the bottom of the 8th inning. Our game break. Ball Sanchez has been great in that one.
I think Bob McClure is talking about the pitch selection right there. I mean, he threw him a changeup on a 2-0 pitch. You know, that's kind of like your 3rd or 4th best pitch. I think Bob McClure just doing a little teaching right there.
And Mark Wagner was, he was attending class because he just let him talk, the whole plate umpire. (3-0) the count. There's that fastball. That's what McClure wanted. So, McClure, a lot of junk, huh? He'd also spin your cap, too, though.
Yes, he would. In a heartbeat.
Back to the backstop it goes, right on that one. 3-2.
Well, you know, one thing Kansas City's been able to do, and I've talked about it when we play the Royals, is that man right there, this is his 4th season with the Royals. They had a tough time over the years trying to find a pitching coach and staying with one coach.
Butler, a nice play. And you talk about the visit from the pitching coach, the bounce back there by Hughes.
Yeah, he went back and he threw strikes. He made Kubel get himself out. Nice backhand-handed play right there by Butler, getting the first out. Yeah, since 1998, there was Bruce Keeson, Mark Wiley, Brett Strom, Al Nipper, John Cumberland, Mike Mason, Guy Hansen, and then in 2006, Bob McClure, now the pitching coach. There's some stability for these young guys, you know, and it's a young staff that they can see the same pitching coach year after year. That's important.
Speaking of stability, Zach Greinke makes it clear that Bob McClure provided stability not only, as you see the phone call being made on the other side, Peterson, the pitching coach there, but stability in his life. He was a guy, Greinke, that battled ups and downs quite a bit. And so McClure not only teaching him how to grow as a pitcher, but working with him as a bit of a father figure as well.
Well, you know, Greinke went through that social anxiety disorder, and, you know, he left baseball for a while.
Deep left field. That's right. Out of here.
Darren, isn't it amazing? The Royals scored 3 runs, the crowd went dead. One pitch can wake a crowd up again.
31 home runs this year, 92 RBIs, Minnesota 5, Kansas City 4. This was the that was heard in the Royals dugout that Bert spoke of a moment ago.
I guarantee you it's probably a breaking ball down, and Kadir acknowledging the crowd here at the Metrodome. Take a look at the pitch. Yep, down and in. He loves that pitch. Well, they are on that swing right there. Kadire, his 31st home run, giving the Twins a 5-4 lead. And one thing you don't want to do is take high fives from Michael Kadire. He'll break your wrist.
Oh, that's a great shot. Off speed now. I know there are oohs and ahs, but that was an off-speed pitch that Cruz missed with.
Yeah, Juan Cruz, who just was activated not too long, about a week ago off the disabled list with some right shoulder soreness. Goes to a breaking ball, and Delman getting out of the way.
Slider, a check swing. You see that pitch in, even if he didn't mean to, it worked just fine. Delman Young is retired. You can see the home runs in September, October in this storied franchise since 1969.
Pretty good company right there. Anytime your name is mentioned with Harmon Killebrew, that's very nice company.
Talk about if you believe in this sort of thing, and baseball players talk about the baseball gods all the time, the things you do or do not do, as you see the numbers for Cruz to make them smile down upon you. Before he went and stretched, Michael Kadire, as that one is a good fastball, spent a good 15 minutes with a young man from Make-A-Wish. Photos, autographs, played catch with him.
This isn't the only day he does that. Kadire gives so much back to the community up here in the five-state area. You see Joe Nathan starting to loosen up.
Up and away with a fastball from Cruz, who has always had the electric arm. It's never translated into huge save seasons in the back end of a bullpen.
Yeah, Cruz in his first season, he was with the Diamondbacks for 3 seasons before signing here with the Kansas City Royals.
Fly ball center field. Meyer puts it away. Boy, this crowd, they're ready to celebrate. Just 2 more games left coming in. They want to win them all. Joe Nathan looking to lock it down. Michael Kadire with the blast and the curtain call.
Yeah, I think that bottom part says it best.
Joe Nathan, he has been nothing but beautiful since coming over from San Francisco. The closer, the record-setting closer, fires strike one.
Yeah, Nathan picked up save number 46 on the year. That's the all-time single-season record for a Minnesota Twin. He was tied with Eddie Guardado, but very good numbers for Joe Nathan. 34 saves in his career against the Royals.
Remind us of the stuff that Nathan brings to the mound. Fastball, breaking ball.
He has 4 pitches. You know, he rarely throws a changeup, but he'll throw a good fastball. He'll throw a hard slider, and then occasionally he'll drop that curveball. And he'll use that curveball as an off-speed pitch. He'll come right at you.
Flash bulbs going off all over this ballpark. It's strike 2.
Right there with a 94-mile-an-hour fastball, knee-high, down and away.
I guess I should accurately say 30 years ago they were flash bulbs. Now they're electronic flashes. Just sounds better, doesn't it? Chopped, and it's a foul ball. When you go back to 2004, Joe Nathan has 245 saves and a 1.88 ERA. Number 2 on that list, Mariano Rivera, 2 behind, a 1.91 ERA.
Not bad company right there. Look at all those names.
So if you're a little bit warm, you know where to find the ice water. It's in that man's veins when you pitch in this inning. And do it so well outside.
Well, it was Mike Jacobs that put the Royals on the board in the 7th inning, a solo home run. That coming off of Nick Blackburn.
Slider he was taking, not interested. So the count is full. In about a half hour, the Detroit Tigers will take the field in Michigan, in Detroit, and host the Chicago White Sox. The Twins hope to be 1/2 game back when they do so. 3-2. Out front of that one and chops it foul.
Yeah, he threw him a slider right there, but he wanted to throw it for a strike, and Jacobs with that level swing hit it hard, but foul. Just a little cutter right here. Jacobs lining it, but in foul territory.
Two again. Got it.
That's what Joe Nathan can get. If he gets that fastball up, he'll get a lot of strikeouts. Now 86 strikeouts in 66 in the 3rd innings.
Big piece of the history here, no doubt about it. Eddie Guardado, Jeff Reardon, the memories, the names.
Rick Aguilera.
Iaspo to right field. Sliding, he got it. What a play! Denard Span, who just moved from center to right, snatches it off the turf.
He has been so valuable to the ball club, Denard Span, because he can play everywhere, and he plays right field as good as anybody. He plays center field as good as anybody. And, you know, by the way, he can play left field, too, as good as anybody. What a nice grab right there. It was a low line, sinking line drive. And Span making a great catch. And Joe Nathan saying, thank you. As good as I am, I still need good defense behind me.
Outside, Tien 2 for 14 in his career against Nathan. One of the 2 a homer. 7-1 the count. The final regular season game in the history of this stadium, the Metrodome, is tomorrow. Ken Herbeck. How many people stood and cheered? How many little ones had their moms and dads stand and cheer in this ballpark when they were little ones? One. Bounced the slider in there. And still about 25 minutes away from first pitch. Hanging on every pitch, those guys, these fans, and the state of Michigan.
A lot of fans, over 48,000 fans. I don't think too many of them left here this afternoon.
The 2-1. 2-2.
Got some giddy up on that fastball.
From the wind, the 2-2 pitch right to the backstop. He was on that one. So we'll do it again.
Fastball teeing, just getting underneath it off the glove of Joe Mauer. And here comes that noise again. It's a good noise. He strikes him out right here. That noise is going to get louder.
The 2-2. Turn up the volume. The Twins are a half game back.